good? What's good? Welcome back to Invest and Trade with Jax. Happy Monday. Hope everybody's doing well. We've gone to Dumpy Town for our friend Bitcoin, the rest of the market. We're going to get into it. Currently we're sitting at 19.5K, down 3.37 on the day. Seeing market cap of 368 billion. 24-hour volume, 41.25 billion. Feeling in a good mood today. Went to the gym this morning. All right. Nobody cares. We're going to jump into Bitcoin. We're starting here on the 1 hour time frame. So the first wave count that I'm looking at is a very, very shallow wave 2. It's pretty rare that these happen, but it is possible. And now we're starting to come down in a wave 3. So we've come down in a wave 1. And this is a wave 2 pullback. So your wave 2 pullback target zone here is in between the 0.5. Where are we at here? Let me open this up. Yeah. In between the 0.5 to 0.786 for a potential wave 2 before seeing continuation down in a wave 3. Now, an alternative count that More Crypto Online was looking at, I just peeped his video this morning. Very good Elliott wave analysis. What he's looking at is that this is a 1 and this is a really shallow wave 2 right here. And now we've begun to come down in a, basically this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2. Just going to get this little 0 out of here. This is a wave 3. This is a wave 4. However, as you can see here, we are starting to push above the 0.5, which invalidates that as a wave 4. Makes it much less likely. So the count that I'm looking at, I mean, potentially you could look at some sort of 1, 2, 1, 2 into a deeper wave 3. But the count that I'm looking at here is that, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. We've come down. This was an ending diagonal into a 5, and this was a 2. And we came down in a wave 1, and this is a wave 2 pullback before coming down to 3, 4, 5. And the fact, and one of the reasons that I'm looking at this count is if we measure the wave 3, so if you take your trend base through extension from the top of the wave 1 down to the bottom to the top of the wave 2, your wave 3 target is down at about 14.5K. And if we take a measurement here, trend base through extension, from the top of the subwave 1 here in yellow to the wave 2, let's say we get rejected here at the golden ratio, your wave 3 would take you down here. Let me open this up. To about 16.2K, you would see a wave 4 pullback and a wave 5, which would line up with that wave 3 target. So there's a little bit more confluence that could be the correct wave count. Of course, subwaves can be inaccurate, as I always like to mention here. But this is the wave count that I'm looking at, is that we've come down in a wave 1. We had a shallow wave 2 pullback, and we've come down in a sub wave 1. This is a wave 2, as you can see right here. We're already pushing all the way up to the golden ratio. So what we may see here is that this is a wave A, and then we put in a wave B, a wave C, and then begin to come down in a wave 3. The bearish scenario is much more likely now. We were looking at one more bullish scenario, that this was a leading diagonal into a 1. This was a wave 2, and what we were looking at as the possible bullish scenarios, that this was a 1, we were pulling back into 2. But as you can see, we broke the wave 1 low. A wave 2 can never break below the wave 1. It can retrace up to 99% of wave 1, but it can't break below it. So now that wave count is invalidated, which gives stronger confirmation to the bearish count that we're coming down in a 5th wave that I've been preaching for months now. I could still be wrong. I mean, this could be the bottom. However, the likeliness of some sort of bullish wave count playing out is very small in my opinion. All right, guys, if we look at the daily chart, those who trade patterns are probably going to look at some sort of double bottom with a bullish divergence, and we may end the day here with what's called a bottoming tail candle. As you can see here, the bears push the price down, the bulls push it right back up, and sometimes those can lead to a push to the upside. So do keep that in mind. We also are creating basically equal lows while relative strength is coming back. Anything can happen, guys, but you have to look at probabilities, and in my opinion, the bearish scenario is more probable. We have this trend line. I told you guys, we came up and hit as resistance. We may come back to test it once again, which would bring you up to about, looks like about 19.920K. But what may happen here is we consolidate a little bit and then come up to test it at about 19.7K. We'll have to see what happens. But the Elliott wave count that I'm looking at here is that we've come down in a 1. This is a shallow wave 2 pullback, and now we're coming down in 3. We have our wave 1 to the downside, and now we're seeing our wave 2 retracement. However, if we come up and we break this high here at about 20.1K, then that would be invalidated, and we would have to look at a different wave count. The thing about counting the subwaves is they can be inaccurate, and you often have to adjust your wave count accordingly. So if we were to come up and break this high, then we'd have to be looking at like some sort of wave 1 to the downside, and then seeing a wave 2 pullback and coming down in a 3. But as of right now, the wave count that I'm looking at, the larger wave count here, let me scroll out. Actually, I should make this a bit bigger. So we'll bump this up to sub micro. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong. I wanted to get the white one here. So the larger wave count that I'm looking at is that we're coming down in a wave 5. As I've been mentioning for months now, I think this is a wave 4 pullback. We're looking for one more wave down. Yes, I can be wrong, but it's the more probable scenario in my opinion. And the sub wave count is that we've come down to in a wave 1 here in white. This was a wave 2 pullback, and now we're coming down in a wave 3. And within the wave 3, which has a target all the way down here at about 12.9K, are sub waves. So the sub wave count is that we've come down in a wave 1. This was a very shallow wave 2 pullback, and now we're coming down in a wave 3. And within your wave 3 are 5 waves, so we're coming down in a 1. This is a 2. We come down to 3, 4, 5. We complete the wave 3, complete the wave 4, and put in the wave 5 to potentially bring you down for that larger wave 3 target. All right, guys. Unless we come up and break this wave 2 high at about 20.1K, then that's the wave count that I'm looking at. If that does happen, we have to adjust the wave count. That's just how it is with Elliott wave. But we try to look at what's the most probable scenario, and that's what I'm looking at right now for our friend BTC. A lot of bearish pressure stepping into the market, but we are seeing some bullish volume step in here. So we'll see if we come up and break that wave 2 high. And we'll have to look at some different wave count, but we have a whole lot. But we have a huge supply zone right here at about 19.5K, close to the golden ratio. Look at all the support at this level. If we scroll back, I'm going to quickly drop in a line just to see what we can see. If we scroll back here, we had some support here. We had some resistance here. So this is a major level of supply for BTC and a potential level to see a rejection. So just watch for that. If we do push up and break that wave 2 high, we have to look at a different wave count altogether. All right, guys, we are seeing some bullish pressure step in for sure. So we'll have to see how that plays out. So that's it for this one. Big shout out to the Discord. We have over 2,000 members posting chart patterns, giving their own trade ideas, their own signals, and all types of goodies, as well as the $10 membership. You can get my exact entries, exits, and take profits. Just locked in some juicy gains on BTC short. I'm not going to open it because I have given another signal, but it's only $10 a month. You can sign up through the Patreon link. Make sure to check out Bybit. That's where I do all my trading. I have a full length tutorial up to $4,500 in bonuses over there, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, much love. Take care.